What is up, my Bronco homies? Today we're going to be doing an install and initial review of the BroAddict TrailDeck. The BroAddict TrailDeck is a drawer system for the Broncos, in which one of the great things about it is it's low profile, built from premium materials. It's supposed to be able to lay flat so that your working area here can even be used as like a bed area and lay smooth, which I'm looking forward to. It also says that you'll still have access to all of this area too, because here's the big thing that I really look when I'm looking for a product is storage and also utilizing space well, because there's not a ton of space in the Bronco. So anything that's going to end up limiting your space, in my opinion, it's typically not for me. But this TrailDeck, again, it still allows you to have all the storage area down here, have storage here, and then be able to make a drawer system that pulls out, as well as the entire tailgate then that comes out for extra room as well when you're overlanding, to be able to use as a table, extra workspace, or again, being able to lay it down flat for even sleeping in the back end of your Bronco. So that's really cool, and I'm really looking forward to that. It does say that it has about a 265-pound working limit, which I am underneath that limit, it's after holiday seasons, but I'm gonna go ahead and try sitting on it, standing on it, see, make sure it does hold my weight, as well as it does say that it's made out of aluminum as well as steel. So it should be a nice balance of build quality while also not being crazy heavy, making rear end sag, because nobody likes their Bronco looking like it's got that sag and the back end. And then it says it should take about 10 to 15 minutes to install. I will be completely transparent with you. I am not the best manly man. I've done a lot of self installs on my Bronco. Usually it leads to a lot of frustration, hit fingers, and frustrating moments. So thanks for joining us. And, maybe hopefully you'll get at least a kick out of my misfortunes as they happen. It is available on Amazon. It looks like it's about $800 currently. Brad did run a sale over the holiday season that brought her to around $703, which is really cool. But again, now it's back at its regular price. There'll be a link in the description if you want to go ahead and follow that to purchase one of these. One of the cool things about this, I recently put a post on the Bronco 6G forums. They basically said that, hey, we built this thing with Bronco owners in mind. They're very heavily on the Bronco 6G forum. If you ask them questions, they're very quick to respond. And they were basically like, hey, we built this with Bronco owners in mind. We read a lot of forums, we read a lot of the complaints, and this is how we built this product, was from seeing real experience from Bronco owners like myself and others on that forum, and then putting together a quality product to answer a lot of those questions. So we will get this installed, and I know there's a couple concerns around it that we'll look into too. I think one of the questions that you often see, will the TrailDeck still work with a tailgate table installed? I've heard that maybe if you remove the handle, it still will. I don't know. We'll find out. And then also how much storage can really fit in this thing. So I had a previous custom built drawer in here. It was a little bit too high in my opinion. It was a lot higher up than what this one was, which then made it kind of awkward when you lay these things flat, and also really took up a lot of my back end storage for when I'm taking the kiddos out to the park and we need to put a bunch of stuff in the back end. It just didn't really fit very well. So I'm really looking forward to the low profile of this one, while also still having storage and stuff for my off-roading gear, because I have a lot of off-road recovery gear as well as my inflate kit and all that stuff. So we'll also go over, hey, how well does everything fit? What realistically fits in there? What are the limitations of this product? So let's go ahead and get this sucker unboxed. All right, I read through the instructions. It does recommend having two people, so I'm gonna have my beautiful wife help me lift it into place. It does look like it's pretty straightforward to install. The first part of the install does say you have to take out that carpeted area in the back end, which fortunately for myself, I already had that removed for my previous drawer system. So mine's already out of there. I got my bolts set to the side there that are going to be used for actually installing the BroAddict TrailDeck. Once it is in place, then it's simply just getting the rubber mat installed. You can actually, has little Velcro that you can actually adhere to that to make it stay in place. Or you don't need the mat at all. That's totally an option. And then it also did come with some tape that goes on the side here to kind of help prevent rubbing on the inside of your Bronco. Since I have these here, I'm actually not gonna need that tape either. So this install hopefully should be even less than 10 minutes, which my wife will be excited about because she hates sometimes when I do long, extensive Bronco installs. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing lifted up and put into place without hurting ourselves, hopefully. Here, I'll be on this side. I'm going to go on the other side. All right. Okay, so this is the part where I do need you on it as well, because what happens is this top part slides out and someone has to hold it as I put the screws in so that it doesn't topple over. Which is exactly what the instructions say. Once I get at least 2 of them in there, I think we'll be fine. You can go back inside since it is a beautiful day today here in Missouri. That should be good enough to at least think to hold in place, but you might have to get a couple more bolts in there. So it doesn't.
You just finish it?
What's that?
So you can just finish what you're doing?
Yeah, it takes 2 seconds here to put this in here.
You're going the wrong way.
It's not as seated as I would like it to be.
Why are you taking
What?
Why are you taking it off?
These holes aren't dispatched. I'd like them to be.
Well, why don't you do them partially and then just do them together?
I'll make sure they get down straight so they don't get crossed.
Yeah.
Now I'll have to get out the impact, which is fine. It's not down enough to go on.
The other two under that piece.
Don't you what?
It's a weird amount to have left.
Yeah, I think I had an extra one.
Okay.
Another project. Slide out further.
I did not match it at all. I think that. Is it further away closed?
That won't be exposed.
Pretty sure it was.
Right here, close?
Yeah. Just try it.
Alright.
Maybe on this side. Probably not on that side. Maybe that's why I saw it.
Yeah, it's not easily.
Definitely not on that side.
Oh, there are. Of course, I'm missing another bolt somewhere.
Take it in. Her? Hey,
I'll find it.
you good without me?
Yep. Thank you. Due to positioning, I'll not be able to use that anymore. So in my video, I originally said that I would give a first review of the product, kind of first look, initial thoughts of it. I had a lot of technical difficulties with recording, ran out of memory, tried to listen to my GoPro, the audio didn't record. I actually ended up installing this thing 3 times, so that was fun. I can confidently say that, yeah, it really does just take 10 minutes. So that was super fun. I do think the hardest part of the install probably would be removing the old carpeted area first, because getting to the bolts, if you haven't done it before, can be a little bit confusing. You have to pop off the little plastic covers where the tow hooks are on there. That's probably the complicated part, but honestly, the install itself, yeah, 10 out of 10 as someone who is not super handy. It was a great experience, so I really do appreciate that as someone who is not the handiest person. But I have been rocking the BroAddict TrailDeck now for about a month, so I have had the opportunity to play around with it, to drive with it, to see, hey, like, does it make a lot of noise? It does. I mean, and the fact that is, you know, hey, like, when you hear that, it is made of quality material, so it does make a little bit of noise. There's probably stuff that you could do to make it not make as much noise, you know, maybe putting some foam insulation and stuff like that could probably kill the noise. I usually have music blaring in my car, so I don't really notice much. I don't hear any crazy vibrations from, you know, the quality subwoofer that Ford provided, so that's great. But yeah, so it does get a little shaky, but man, I really have thoroughly enjoyed this thing. I did indeed find out with this tailgate table here that it does close, albeit very tight. So that is very nice. And one of the great things about this that I've really actually enjoyed is just the practicality of it, especially for like honestly groceries. I know this sounds lame saying groceries. I do the grocery shopping a lot in my house, and it's great just being able to slide that out. I can put all my groceries there. But from an off-roading, overlanding standpoint, it's also really great because you have a really big workspace. So like this is my recovery gear. A lot of it honestly doesn't fit in the drawers itself. So here, I'll open up the drawer. That gets so angled. A lot of it doesn't fit in there just because of the low profileness of it. I am able to put in like my hoses for my pump and my Morphlate. It doesn't fit in the actual original carrier, which is kind of a bummer. But as you can see, because of the slim profile, you have to be tactical with what you're going to put in here. You're not going to be able to expect to store all of your off-road recovery gear in there. It's just not going to, this is not the solution for that if that's what you're looking to do, just because of the slim profile and also because of the little dividers here that they put there. It kind of limits you on what you can store in here. But this is stuff that usually I kept in my rig all the time anyway, and that mostly fit. My recovery gear I typically just keep in this bag here because then that way I'm able to, sometimes I'll store it externally depending on where I'm going off-roading. I'll put it on the little tire carrier back there so that if I ever get into trouble and I wouldn't be able to open my tailgate, I still have access to the recovery gear. But yeah, so you'll see there, it doesn't exactly have a ton of room there. Here, I'll angle the camera down there so that you are able to see, hey, yes, I can fit my hoses, I can fit the Morphlate in there, a few other things, but I'll pick it up and walk around here. It is a little bit more limited with what you can put in there with the dividers, as well as just, we'll get a good look there, the slim profile there. But what I do thoroughly enjoy about it and what I have is that you get a lot more space in the back area because it's so slim. I previously had a drawer system that probably came up to about here. And because of that, it really limited what I could put in my back trunk. I would often go to the park with my kids and I couldn't really put a lot in there with their little ride-on thing, so that was kind of problematic. But what I do really like about it, when it's all slid out, it really gives you a good workspace. Like I can open up my recovery bag and put all this stuff, lay it out and think through there. So that is nice. And the tie downs, I do have, as you can see, EcoFlow inverter there. I do run a Delta 2 when I'm doing overlanding type stuff. It is nice because I would be able to put my electric car fridge right there, have the tie downs there, so in case stuff gets crazy, that is pretty sweet. And then the rubber mat obviously will keep things from bouncing around too much. Yeah, so that's been great. The other thing that it did stay true to is that, I'll get this out of the way. When it's fully slid open, you do indeed still have access to all this stuff here. So, in here I have additional tools for in case if I break a tie rod. Thanks. You still have also access to all of your jack and everything if you need access to that. Although it is a little bit awkward getting to it, you can access it. So that's a huge win there. I said I would do this. It says 265 pound working load limit. I'm about 165. And, I'm not going to jump up and down on this. I will stand. I will pop a squat on the end of the tailgate here. And it's sturdy. That's nice. I do really like that aspect of it. So there is some trade-off with this one. If you're looking for a drawer solution that you'll be able to fit everything in, like I've seen some awesome ones. I got a buddy that has a Lexus and he's got a crazy awesome custom built drawer system that was really big and he can fit all his off-road recovery gear in there. And he's got that cool little like fridge pull down thing that does like that stuff made in Australia. It costs more than this whole thing. And if that's the type of solution you're looking for, this probably isn't it. If you're looking for something that, kind of will help you be able to lay your whole back seat flat so that you could lay in the back of your Bronco for camping, to be able to have a a tailgate that is functional, that can slide out fully, as well as still have a little bit of storage space for the things that will fit tactically in there. This is a great option, and I really have enjoyed it, and I look forward to using it on a lot of the off-roading trips that I have planned in the future. All in all, I do recommend it. It does really seem to be quality built, so that's great. And the fact that, hey, I can still use my tailgate table is pretty cool too. Yeah, if there's any other questions, you can drop a comment, whatever, and I'll try to answer it. If you want to look at anything else with it, I'll be happy to look at it in more detail.